Joe Johnson is staying in Atlanta, agreeing to a maximum contract with the Hawks. The All-Star guard's agent, Arn Tellem, said Sunday that Johnson announced his intention to re-sign with the Hawks for 6 more years. The Hawks could pay Johnson nearly $120 million. Other NBA teams could only offer the star guard a 5-year deal and about $25 million less than Atlanta. Johnson averaged 21.3 points per game this past season. That's above his career average of 17.6. In an entry for the Huffington Post website, Tellem wrote Johnson picked Atlanta over 2 bigger market teams, the Bulls and Knicks. Signing with New York would have reunited Johnson with Mike D'Antoni, his former coach in Phoenix. The Hawks have reached the second round of the playoffs the past 2 years with Johnson. No comment on the deal from the Hawks, who pointed to the NBA's moratorium on signings. Deals can't become official until July 8th. Steve Karmazin, The Associated Press.
The Atlanta Hawks decided to ship Joe Johnson and his massive contract to the Brooklyn Nets for Anthony Morrow, Jordan Farmar, 2-time NBA champion, Jordan Williams, who had a decent rookie season, Deshaun Stevenson, who won a championship with the Dallas Mavericks, Johan Petro, a 2013 first-round draft pick, and Shane Larkin, and the Hawks' option to swap picks in 2014-15 for second-round picks. The option was used in 2015. The draft pick was used on Kelly Oubre. The Nets instead got Chris Smalling. And the Nets also threw in a 2017 second-round draft pick that was used on Frank Jackson. Anthony Morrow only had 5 points a game that season before getting traded to Dallas for Jones.
Pierce on the drive, stripped. Over the head to Farmar. Farmar inside! Oh, what a finish!
Great defense turning into spectacular offense. Jordan Farmar throws it down. A Taft High School product. Let them know.
Now you look for the long ball if you can't get it to the basket in time. Williams, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, bounce. Farmar for the win. Got it! Oh, he buries it! .2 on the clock.
The Hawks immediately waived Farmar after the trade. In his only NBA season, Jordan Williams managed to get 5 points and 3.5 boards a game in 43 games and only 5 starts. After he was traded to the Atlanta Hawks, he was immediately waived.
Part of last year's championship team, and he received his ring from head coach Rick Carlisle and the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban. Does it fit? Oh, it certainly does. Stevenson, very popular in that Dallas locker room.
Deshaun Stevenson only had 5 points a game in an Atlanta uniform and was let go after the end of his contract, so nothing you can do.
Petro, a 3.
Yes!
Petro had 4 boards and 4 points a game in 31 appearances in Atlanta, but did a lot better in the playoffs than in the regular season.
With the 18th pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Shane Larkin from the University of Miami. Shane is in the building.
You bet he is, and so is his Hall of Fame father, Barry Larkin.
I think the Hawks are making up for the draft that they took Marvin Williams when they could have possibly got Darren Williams and Chris Paul. Now they're going to take the 2 best point guards they feel that are available so they don't miss this time.
Did David Kahn get hired as a consultant by them?
Oh, jeez. There have been a lot of guys drafting 2 of a kind, and I don't know if they're the same kind of players. Certainly we've seen Schroeder highlights, and we got a chance to see what Larkin can do over the course of this past season, his great run at Miami.
The Hawks later traded Shane Larkin along with cash for Jared Cunningham, a 2012 first-round pick, and the rights to Luigi, I can't pronounce that, and Mike Muscala. Cunningham was cut after 5 games. Lucas was traded to the Raptors along with Lou Williams for John Salmons and a 2015 second-round pick, Marcus Erickson.
Schroeder calling for the screen. Schroeder slips and falls. Muscala for 3 and the tie. It's good! Mike Muscala on a Bucknell
the floor, skin out of the floor, and kick it back to the big guy for a three.
With the 15th pick in the 2015 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Kelly Oubre from the University of Kansas.
My guy's right on it. As usual, he was good in isolation defense. Has an interesting backstory. He and his father fled New Orleans when he was 9 years old to get away from Hurricane Katrina. Enrolled him in a private school in Houston and ended up going to Kansas. You see Bobby Portis waiting. What do you think of this pick, Jalen?
I really like the pick. As you mentioned, he's a really good defender. He reminds me a lot of Trevor Ariza, second most efficient isolation defender in the Big 12.
Is he a 3 or is he a 2?
He can do both.
Because my thing is you have Kyle Korver, you have Dabo Cephalosha, you're kind of stacked at that position already.
The Atlanta Hawks trade away Kelly Oubre and in return get from the Knicks Tim Hardaway Jr. and a 2016 second-round draft pick used on Isaiah Cordner and a 2019 second-round draft pick that was later used in a 3-team deal with the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets to acquire Jamal Crawford, Diamond Stone, and a first-round draft pick that is from the Houston Rockets that they shipped to the Clippers for CP3. On a side note, doesn't Diamond Stone sound like a porn star name?
Kelly Oubre just missed getting drafted in the lottery, and he's already on the move. Atlanta selected the forward out of Kansas with the 15th pick, but then quickly shipped him out to the Wizards. In exchange, the Hawks got the 19th pick plus 2 future second-round picks. Atlanta later traded the 19th pick to the Knicks for Tim Hardaway Jr. Oubre was highly recruited coming out of high school, but his play was up and down at Kansas. On the year, he averaged more than 9 points per game, and he flashed a workable three-point shot, hitting nearly 36% from long distance. In Washington, Oubre will join Otto Porter Jr. as a fellow young player on the wing, and those two might need to replace Paul Pierce if the veteran leaves in free agency.
With the 29th pick in the 2015 NBA Draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Chris McCullough from Syracuse University.
So the Hawks basically got a lot for Joe Johnson. They got Farmar, who they immediately cut. Williams, they immediately cut. Stevenson left after a year. Petro left after a year. And Jones, who was traded for Morrow, left after the 2013 season. They eventually will get Tim Hardaway Jr., John Solomons, who immediately was cut after his trade. They get Kelly Oubre, who, like I said, for Hardaway and 2 picks from the Wizards. They have a 2015 pick from Solomons trade. They get a 2016 and 19 pick from the Wizards. They get Cunningham, who they cut after 5 games, and the rights to Muscala. So basically, the only thing that they've really lost in this whole trade was Larkin, who they traded for Muscala, Cunningham, and I can't pronounce his name. The 29th pick, but they swapped that for Kelly Oubre. The Hawks never swapped picks in 2014. They lost Anthony Morrow for Jones. That's basically it. So the Hawks won the Joe Johnson trade by far.
So Jackson, Bensel. And while we were in break, the Hawks were on the clock. And they took Isaiah Cordigna, a guard from France. Cordigna is here at his moment with Mark Tatum. Franny, what do the Hawks have here?
Very simply, 6'5", 19-year-old guard, combo guard. If you want a good comp for him, think Austin Rivers. Can play 1 or 2. Played in the Nike Hoop Summit, did not play well, but good prospect, good athlete, and good guard for the future.
Although, a side note, with the second-round draft pick they got from the Nets years and years ago, they were able to move Dwight Howard's contract for Marco Bellinelli, the terrible contract of Miles Plumlee, and 10 spots down to get Tyler Dorsey. And so I'm hoping, everyone liked the remake that I did of the Joe Johnson trade. Obviously, more pieces were added since I did this trade 2 years ago. And everyone wondering why I think Kelly Oubre is a bitch. If it isn't evident, I am a Boston Celtics fan. And I do have this video that I took while I was at Game 3 of the semifinals. Here's a bonus treat.
Exactly!
And if you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. I'm Sports Trades. I'll see you guys next time.